So the second round of matches in Group B about to get underway. Mauritania and Mozambique, top of the pile after wins against Senegal for Mauritania and against Malawi for Mozambique, leaving both Malawi and Senegal pointless. And you wouldn't have seen it coming, but Senegal, the 7-time African champions in beach soccer, prop up the group. Their goal difference of -3, worse than Malawi's of -1. Well, Senegal make one change to the side, beaten by Mauritania last time out. Amar Sam, the number 6, comes in, dropping to the bench Mamour Diane. And Mandion Diane amongst the goals against Mauritania. The referee today, Omar Tigwili from Morocco, with Jasper Robinson of Ghana, the second official. It's an incredibly windy day here in Malawi. For them, just the one change as well. Justine Boningwe in goal was really impressive for Malawi. And the man coming into the side of that is Usi. Sandram Usi got 2 goals against Mozambique. Martin Biliati dropping to the bench for the Flames. Well, I'm joined by the former Nigeria international Abu Aziz. Malawi desperately unlucky against Mozambique. Surely that last gasp goal with what, 0.0 on the clock. I mean, there were milliseconds left. How do you think they'll handle that disappointment?
Yeah, the Malawians were doing everything well yesterday until the last second of the game before they conceded against Mozambique. But that has shown their resilience, and I am really happy with their goalkeeper, Bonongwe, because his performance yesterday happened to be a top-notch goalkeeping performance. And for him to be keeping against the almighty Senegal today, he needs to also step up his game again, because both teams lost their first game, and they would have to need a win in today's game to be able to give them hope of progressing into the second round. So it's going to be an amazing game for us today. Also, I want to see the number 10, the star man for Malawi, Usi, that had 2 goals yesterday against the good defense of Diatta and Sila from Senegal. Let's see how it's going to work out for him today.
Well, we're almost underway. 5, 4,
3, 2, 1. It's kickoff time.
Gian with the back flick, straight in to the number 5 for Senegal, Mamadou Silla. Just currently battling to hold on to all my notes. It's the wind here really has whipped up. You may be able to see the flags, how much they are moving. In the wind, it will at least cool the temperatures on the pitch somewhat for the players. Well, Senegal have reached the final on all but one of their 10 visits to the beach soccer competition in Africa. Missing out in 2009 when they finished 3rd, finalists every time otherwise. They lost in 2015 and also lost the final in 2007, the first final they ever contested. The competition was effectively an African World Cup qualifier back then, until the Confederation of African Football took it over and made it the Beach Soccer Africa Cup of Nations from 2015 going forwards. Simbadala with a strike for Malawi, and a really good one as well against the crossbar from the number 11. He had quite a few efforts on goal on Sunday against Mozambique without ever managing to hit the target properly, but that was much better from the number 11 for Malawi.
Yeah, that was a massive strike, and it shows that
keep going.
It shows that they are ready for the fight against the Senegalese. just like the Mauritanian coach said, he said they are not scared of anything, they are not afraid of anything. And for Mauritania to have won Senegal yesterday, every team playing against Senegal would want to give them a run for their money. And that is the most important thing and the best thing about beach soccer. Come out and play this game. You can respect your opponents, but don't be scared of them. So this is what they said the Malawians has brought into this game. So a good start for them. They've already gotten a very, very good chance to get a goal. And if they had gotten that goal, that would have taken them one goal up in the game.
It certainly would have done. Dala Simba with the effort. And another one comes in from Isaac Kajamu, the skipper for Malawi. Can't keep that one down. Ninu Jatta for Senegal, and Alseni Njaya, a legend of African beach soccer, plays it forward to Silla, striker goal, straight into the midriff of Bonongwe. And Kumbula charging forward, but no one there to help him, and they can only find the side netting. Chance here for Senegal to open the scoring, and they do so. Manjon Jian, with his second goal of the tournament, gives Senegal the lead against Malawi early on, and it was meat and drink for the 22-year-old. He barely celebrated it either, Manjon Jian, but Senegal lead through the legs of Bonongwe. Very composed finish.
Very composed finish, and so good to see Manzione back on the score sheet. He lost the penalty yesterday, and you could see the spirit was down. He needed to score that goal to give his team that deserved victory. Unfortunately, he couldn't get that penalty scored yesterday. But it's so good to see him get back on the score sheet right now, and that is a good one for him. Right now, Senegal are one goal up, and they just need to do more for them to get a win today. A win today would give them hope to be able to get into the last group match. If they get a win in the last group match, they should be able to qualify to the semi-finals.
Absolutely. You never want to poke a lion, and that's exactly what happened yesterday in Mauritania, and you wouldn't want to face a wounded lion, and that's
exactly,
unfortunately for Malawi, what they have to do today. And there may well be a whirlwind on a very windy day here in Hurghada coming Malawi's way, as the Senegalese will attempt to show the qualities they really have and not the ones that they showed against Mauritania, but take nothing away from Mauritania. They were hugely impressive on their tournament debut on Sunday and deserved winners against their neighbours. A real rising force in African beach soccer of Mauritania. Well, Bonongwe on the ball. He was in tears yesterday after conceding the last second goal to Mozambique. The coach of Malawi, Willie Kumilambe, was telling me after the game, just shows what it means to him. Nice turn from Raul Mendy into the middle. Jatta couldn't find an open goal, with the net gaping after being well fouled by Raul Mendy. In case you're joining us for the first time, you have revolving substitutes in beach soccer. If you're subbed, you can come back on. You can go off the pitch at any time as long as you observe the correct procedures. And that's why this man with the beard, Raul Mendy, 31 years of age, scored in the 2022 Beach Soccer Africa Cup of Nations final. He's on the pitch having not started. Kajamu playing it forward into Usi, who despite playing at the back managed to find 2 goals yesterday. Kajamu again as Hassan Bar waits on the sidelines to come on. Striker goal again from Usi into the midriff of Senegal's Seydina Gajaga. Simba had Malawi's best effort by a country mile and struck it really well as well. Simba Careful header from Gajaga. Mendy under a little bit of pressure from Simba. Happy to go back to Alseni Unjai, a man who won his 150th cap in the last beach soccer AFCON. 34 years of age and has won 4 beach soccer AFCON titles with his homeland. Little deflection there, we'll take it behind for a Malawi corner. Malawi showed great spirit against Mozambique. And they really struggled in the opening period, Malawi, but they've started this game a lot better than they did yesterday when they took a little bit of time to get into the game against Mozambique.
Yeah, beach soccer happens to be a game that you grow better as the tournament progresses, and they did well yesterday, and today they're already doing better against the Senegalese side. So it shows that they learned a little bit from their mistakes yesterday. They're a little bit more calm, more composed today, and as far as the game is going, they're already doing so well against Senegal. So it's a good one for the Malawian side. All they just need to do is try as much as possible to be more composed in front of goal, because they already won goal down against Senegal, and losing in this particular game will take them automatically out of the tournament. So they need to do everything possible to at least get a goal.
Nice twist and turn from the number 9 for Malawi, Frank Mwene Lupembe, the 27-year-old, strike a goal from distance, and this will falls to Ndoye, but the whistle's gone. And it will stay at just a goal advantage to the Senegalese as Papa Ndoye, the 39-year-old, comes off, and on comes Amar Sam. As Ngala Silla, the legendary coach of Senegal, guided them to 3 straight beach soccer AFCON titles from 2016 to 2021. Also led Senegal to the Beach Soccer World Cup semi-finals in 2021, and back on the bench after a 2-year spell in Morocco. Strike from distance from Usi. Getting the idea right, but it just didn't lift up off the sand as he had wanted it to do. Kijamu scored a very nice goal against Mozambique yesterday. Just switches the play out towards Simba. Simba just trying to work it onto his right foot. That's well played from Senegal, and that forces a good save as well from Benongwe. Got low down well. He's really impressed so far in this tournament, hasn't he, Benongwe?
Yeah, a very good goalkeeper. I think I'm very impressed with his performance so far. This is the first time I'm seeing him in post, and from what I have seen, he has shown that he has the qualities, he has the abilities to be able to get to that level where the Senegalese #1 is right now. And if he can continue this way, why not? The Malawian goalkeeper is so good, he can be able to keep at the World Cup stage.
Kijamu flicking around the corner, looking for Mwene Lupembe. Kijamu again with the overhead. Off target from the big number 4 for Malawi. Scored 8 goals earlier in the year at the Kusafa Beach Soccer Tournament. Very impressive for a defender, as Sam can't guide his header past Benongwe, who kept Malawi in the game for long periods against Mozambique yesterday. Well, before the tournament, Willie Kumilambe, the Malawian coach, said this was a source of motivation to be facing Senegal, and here they are, and what have they got? Strike from distance against the crossbar from Benongwe. Really unlucky from the young Malawian goalkeeper. He got his angles pretty much spot on there. We've already had one goalkeeper score today. Mohamed Manar for Morocco, as Morocco beat Ghana in the day's opening game. Chance for Silla to double Senegal's lead. He can't do so. Benongwe with a really good save again. And he'll just play it forward. And he'll try and find Saeed, and Usi with a really good strike. But straight at Njai in the Senegal goal. And now it's Silla's chance. Chances flying thick and fast, they're coming. And Silla wins the corner. end-to-end action.
Yeah, I think before this tournament, Usi, the number 10, and has been one player I look forward to as their key player. But so far, so good. Their goalkeeper, Bonongwe, has been my revelation of the tournament. He has been extreme. He has been everywhere. He has been electrifying with his performance, with his saves. Everything about him has been top-notch. So I think he is a very, very good goalkeeper. I'm very, very impressed with his performance so far.
29 years of age, the Beach Eagles player for Malawi. Njai forced into action, and that'll be a corner to Malawi. Malawi, the only one of the 8 teams here that doesn't have any coastline. Instead, they play their beach soccer as they fire over Ibrahim Saeed. They play their beach soccer on the shores of Lake Malawi. Well, there are so many shots in this game. They have rained down, and it's flown by this opening period. Sam trying his luck from distance. Bonongwe, just 30 seconds or so to go. Touched back by Toko Kamanga, who's come onto the field. 28-year-old, another with Beach Eagles. And Simba. Back to Bonongwe. This would be a fine time for Malawi to find an equaliser as Sam doesn't get his attempted header right. And Ndoye comes back onto the field, but there will be very little action in the time remaining. And there goes the buzzer. Abu Aziz, your thoughts on the opening period?
It is expected to happen because both teams lost their first matches, and they want to do everything possible to get a win in today's game. So I understand why we haven't seen lots of goals in this match, because in a game of beach soccer, goals are what makes us happy. But in this particular game, we've only seen 1 goal. And talking about the Senegalese side, they have the qualities to score at least 5-6 goals in their games, but getting just 1 goal, I understand, because they need to be very, very careful. Because if they lose in today's game, it means they're already out of the tournament, and that would be a massive shock for the African beach soccer continent to see Senegal going out of the tournament in the first round. So it's a good one. I expect more good actions in the second quarter.
Thank you very much, Abu Aziz. Yes, Senegal cannot afford to lose this game. And as I said, it would be an enormous shock if they were not to make it through. Won the title last time around on penalties, beating Egypt, who are the hosts here this time around, and fully expecting to make the final again. So the opening period highlights: Manjon Jian with the only goal of that first period, which came after Malawi had hit the bar through Dallas Simba. Alseni Njai, the Senegalese goalkeeper, sending one over. Papa Ndoye unable to pop it from close range. And this is Simba Dalek flashing, but lots of action. Bonongwe getting down well on more than one occasion. Asambar forcing the Malawian keeper into action yet again, and then look what he managed to do there, Bonongwe. Look at this, hit the stanchion from distance from Bonongwe, but he could not find the back of the net. 1-0 at the end of the first period. Well, right in front of us, the Senegalese players getting ready to come back out. Not too many detailed instructions from the coaching staff. Holiday makers here on the Red Sea shore, enjoying the game. A smattering of fans coming in to watch the action. Entry is free. Expecting there to be a few more spectators in the arena when Egypt come out to play Tanzania in Group A in the game that follows this one. So what do Malawi need to do in the second period, Abu Aziz?
Yeah, Malawians, they just need to step up their game, because so far so good. They've been able to match the Senegalese strength for strength, energy for energy. They just need to try as much as possible up your game and get 1 goal. Getting 1 goal in this game takes them, gives them more confidence more advantage to be able to come into the game and win the game. I think the Senegalese on their own side, they are having 1 or 2 injury problems, because you can see their number 10, Mamadou Diane, is still on the bench and hasn't come up in the game at all. So I think after yesterday's game, he's been having a minor knock, and that is a problem for the Senegalese side, because Mamadou Diane is a very, very good player.
So Malawi with the kickoff. Simba touches it to Usi, and Usi fires over. There's been a change in goal for Senegal. Ousseynou Faye, the 19-year-old with Ngo Almadies, is on as he plays it forward to Diatta. He thrashes a volley from the halfway line wide, and the officials coming over. What do you think they're checking here, Abu Aziz?
Yeah, I think they are checking if if they are ready to start the game or not. Maybe it is not time for them to start the game. I don't know.
I think there may be a problem. I'll tell you what it is.
No,
with
it should
the
be a
scoreboard,
technical
that's
issue.
exactly it. It was showing 0.0 seconds. It's now showing 12
it's a technical
minutes.
issue.
So the officials, led by the Moroccan Omar Tigouili, very alert. Well, we had a few seconds of play. It's not reflected on the scoreboard, so I'd imagine the challenge now is to make sure that the time that has gone by is represented on the scoreboard, or will we just start the 12-minute period again? That's a conversation going on right in front of us, as there you can see on your screen. 15 seconds were played, but you can see that in the top left-hand corner of your screen. But on the scoreboard here, it's showing 12 minutes to be played. That the volley from Ninu Diatta. Scored the winning spot kick in the last Nations Cup final. Did the number 2 for Senegal. And also scored an own goal in that final. So mixed emotions. Well, we've gone back to start again. So a few extra seconds of action added to the players. Usi, well, that's a really strong challenge coming in on him from Gajaga. And then Saeed cannot control it. And Usi just getting up on his feet. He's complaining about a knock that he received in the back. Diatta mopping up at the back for Senegal. Usi back on his feet, and he gets an apology from Gajaga as well, which is nice to see. We saw a pretty bad-tempered game between Morocco and Ghana earlier today, and it'll be nice to see a game more in keeping with the spirit of beach soccer in this second of 4 games on the 3rd day of action at the Beach Soccer Africa Cup of Nations. So Malawi looking fairly unflustered, trying to settle down. Diatta tries from distance. Faye, and he can score them, and he's coming forward. Faye, and volleys forward, and Simba gets the block in for Malawi. And Ousseynou Faye got a lot of room again. He's coming forward again and plays it into Diatta. Diatta works it onto his left foot. Doesn't get the power though. The 37-year-old who plays for Ngo Almadi in the Senegalese capital, Dakar, and slices that volley wide. Gajaga tussling with Usi again. Usi losing out. Sam can pick this up for Senegal. Gajaga. Simba penalised as Kajamu, the Malawian skipper, comes back on to the field at the expense of Kamanga. And Senegal will have a free kick from a very central position on the halfway line, so roughly 18 metres from goal. And it'll be Gajaga, a new call-up well, making his beach soccer AFCON debut, I should really say, at this event after having represented Senegal at the Beach Soccer World Cup earlier in the year. Senegal going out in the group phase of that competition. Can he score his first ever goal in this competition? Gajaga, up he comes, the tall Senegalese, and he just drills that into the back of the net, sits down on the floor in celebration. Gajaga has his first goal in the Beach Soccer Africa Cup of Nations, and Senegal have a 2-0 lead against Malawi and beginning to rectify some of their errors in their opening game against Mauritania on Sunday.
Yeah, I think that is a very, very important goal for Gadiaga, because the team is actually leading 1-0 and getting your first goal of the tournament, and in this situation it shows that you are ready to step up to big occasions, and it is also a big goal because this would make them understand that yes, they just need to step up more for them to win this game and win convincingly to get any hope of qualifying into the semi-final of the tournament.
Absolutely. After today, the Senegalese meet Mozambique. That game tomorrow, Tuesday. As for Malawi, well, it's Mauritania next for them, and that will not be an easy encounter. The debutants impressing so much against the defending champions that Abu Aziz, sitting alongside me, the former Nigeria international, thinks that they may even make it all the way to the final as Kajamu strikes one for Malawi, tipped onto the bar by Fai. Here he is again, Kajamu, trying to work the space but blocked well by Ndoye at the back for Senegal. Heavy touch from Usi. Breaks here for Senegal, and Manjon Jian cannot profit. Dalla Simba pops up here, there and everywhere for Malawi on the left side, on the right hand side. Mwene Lupembe, what is normally found in front of the goal, but he's occupying a defensive role today, and they're really mixing up their tactics here, aren't they? We've got a number 9 at the back for Malawi, and we've got their defender Kajamu playing as a forward.
That is how beach soccer is being played. Any position you find yourself, you just need to play to that position. This is about playing to the basics of the game. You as a player, you don't need to be static. You need to understand that that position you are at that moment is naturally your position. So it's good to see that the central defender is automatically the striker at that particular period. It's a good way to rotate, learn how to play in every position you find to yourself.
Total football, in the old school way of doing things. Well, Manjon Jan forcing a save from Bonongwe. He's been a bit quieter in this period, the Malawian keeper, than we're normally used to seeing. He's normally regularly called into action. And Kajamu can only find the back netting. Jatta for Senegal. Into Sam, the 35-year-old. Scored 3 goals at the World Cup. And striker goal again from Senou Fai. He does know how to find the back of the net. Scored a stunning effort on the volley against Colombia at the Beach Soccer World Cup earlier in the year. Martin Biliati on the field, having started the first game, but not this one. And then Sanu Chao, 25-year-old, also on the field for Senegal, just lifting that towards the Malawian goal and being turned behind for a corner. Taken, but he cannot find Sam. Bonongwe, Mwene Lupembe, and that's under hit by Jatta. And Mwene Lupembe, arms outstretched, he was half-hearted appeal for a decision. They're causing a lot of problems there, the 27-year-old with deep bay. He hasn't continued chatting to the officials, so it really was a mild-mannered appeal. And here's Fai again, into Jatta. Jatta playing it into Chow, who swivels and turns and just crashes it off an opponent, and Malawi can come forward again here through Mwene Lupembe. Muscled off it by Chow, and Chow lets fly, and that's tipped away and behind for a corner. Full stretch Benongwe was, and it was a good strike from distance.
Yeah, the Senegalese team are gradually getting their rhythm back, and after the disappointing loss yesterday to Mauritania, they have tried as much as possible to get back, and right now they are winning, and they are winning well. All they just need to do is to be a little bit more calm. Right now they are leading, and if they win today's game, it shows that they just need one more win to qualify into the semi-final. All they need to do right now is to just keep the ball more and try as much as possible to pass within themselves. They should be able to get one more goal, and if they don't get any other goal, they should be able to keep the position, the possession, or keep the score that way.
5. Well, unusually for him, he took that on the ground rather than on the volley. Kijamu for Malawi. Simba for Malawi. Cannon straight into a Senegalese player. Jatta, well, he doesn't get the clearance fully right. And just on the edge of his penalty area. Fight manages to keep it in. Mendy, really strong physical player, finds. I was going to say he found Silla, which he did, but Silla just couldn't get the control right. Jatta will just play it back to Afai, who loves to come forward. On this occasion, just casually plays it to Sam, who tries to flick it towards Raul Mendy. Kijamu, the back heel to Simba, asking a fair bit of Simba in the corner, and then the overhead from Kijamu, and I think he just clipped Mendy there as well, because Mendy's down on the ground in a bit of pain, and Kijamu holding his foot, which would suggest that he did make contact with the Senegalese, just the back of his head, as you can see from the pictures. But happy to report that Mendy is getting back up onto his feet and trudging back into his own half. Those aren't live pictures, these ones are. Silla twisting and turning, and header off Kamanga. A bit of panic at the back for Malawi, and it'll be a corner to Senegal as we have 4 minutes of this second and middle period to go. Striker goal, oh, that's a stunner. Absolute beauty, flying into the back of the net for Manjon Jian. His second of the game, really got his foot wrapped around that, and it just tore into the top right-hand corner. And Senegal lead by 3-0, and that's a goal well worth seeing again.
This shows that his quality. He happens to be the best player and highest goal scorer in the last AFCON, and he's already showing that. I think he has 3 goals in 2 matches already, and this is what we want to see in a player that's shown well in the last tournament. And this is good for the team, because the momentum in the team has been very, very down, and he has tried as much as possible to show everyone that he is the star man and he would remain the star man. So good for him, and good for the team.
Well, he scored 10 goals in the last tournament, did Manjon Jian, including 5 against Uganda in the group stages. He was named the best player of the tournament. He was just 20 years of age then. He's 22 now. Plays his club football with Yoff Beach Soccer in the northern parts of Dakar. And that was picture book stuff from Manjon Jian. I was going to say he could have been played in again here, but Raul Mendy just couldn't get the ball out of from under his feet. Thigh. Touching it into Silla, back to Thigh it comes. And then just launched forward, looking for Manjon Jian, cannot control it. Maybe a throw in, or Malawi ball over on that far side. Kumbula causing some problems over there. And on this occasion he leaves the throw to his skipper Isaac Kijamu, 27 years of age, just plays it back into Benongwe. And Benongwe really does try his luck, not the best effort from him, we've seen better. Thigh. Good footwork for a keeper. Gajaga. Mansour Jan wins the corner for Senegal, which he will take. The 2-goal hero of this game so far. into the back stick to Gajaga. And Arnold Lasteni is on the pitch for Malawi. I thought Lasteni played very well against Mozambique, so I'm a bit surprised to see him into the field so late.
And, he's been doing so well today, but one person that has really impressed me in today's game is Faye, the Senegalese backup goalkeeper. He has shown that he's ready to step up the stage immediately. Their number one goalkeeper, Alsein, leaves the stage, so he's been doing so well, and when he holds the ball with his leg, he's been doing so well. So it's a good one that they have two goalkeepers that are ready to keep at the highest level.
It's the past and present, really, isn't it, of Senegalese goalkeeping. Alseini Unjai, 34 years of age, and Ousseynou Faye, just 19. And as you can see, they've got a ready-made replacement for when Unjai, a legend of the game on this continent, eventually hangs up his, I would say, boots, but let's go with gloves.
I think Alseini has already done well. He has already won 7 AFCON for himself, so he has already made a good name for himself. He happens to be the best goalkeeper in the African continent. He is also a beach soccer worldwide ambassador, so he has done well for himself. And for Faye just coming in, he has already done everything possible for us to see that he can step up when Alsein decides to resign.
Yeah. Well, Usi was complaining still to the officials. He wanted a penalty there. And the officials just conferring amongst themselves. I don't think he's going to get what he wants. Just 35 seconds to go of this period. The top of your screen says 59, but it says 35 on the clock here. And so you can expect the buzzer to go. Well, they're still conferring, the officials here. Usi still remonstrating, the number 10 for Malawi, trying to say how his left shoulder was pulled. Fight gets us back underway. Manjon Jan. Now the clock has reset here in the stadium. Lots of different timings. And it's reset to suggest that 50 seconds are what's going to be played. So it's pretty similar, even if it's just a couple of seconds behind the one on your screen. Faye again at the back. Can he find the back of the net here? Strikeout goal. That's the placement. Chow for Senegal makes it 4. Sanu Lai Chow with his first of the competition. Taken really coolly as well on his left foot and just slotted past Banongwe. And it was always going to be tricky for Malawi today. And Senegal are roaring back the Lions of Teranga after their shock defeat against Mauritania. And they are comfortably 4-0 up.
Yeah, this is what we want to see in beach soccer. When you're leading and leading comfortably, you keep possession, you don't need to rush, and this is what the Senegalese are doing right now. Once you keep possession and you don't lose the ball, the goals would surely come, and once the goals come, it gives your team so much confidence to be able to keep the ball, play progressively. So good one for the Senegalese side. Right now, after the defeat yesterday, they are back into the game and they are back and better. So good for them to see the happiness to see them play and play better. Good one for them.
Absolutely. The wind continuing to cause some chaos in this stadium. There are some banners that are being removed right in front of us. Cuts loose. As we wait for the second period just to conclude. And this will be a strikeout goal from Manjon Jan, who is on a hat-trick. And this would be some way to seal it with a free kick from here. No walls allowed in beach soccer. Can he beat Banongwe from here? Struck, and it never bounced, and it falls onto the floor. And Senegal have a fifth because that was thumped home by Gajaga, who scored his first in the tournament just a few minutes ago and now has 2 goals to his name in the Beach Soccer Africa Cup of Nations. And this is turning into a tennis score for Senegal and Malawi. Well, they're just probably wishing this game will end. Look at that. And look at the celebration as well from Senegal's number 4. 5-0 up, and there's still 15 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, it's so good to see Senegal bounce back from the defeat yesterday, and this is what we want to see. It wouldn't be good for us to see the defending champions get out of the tournament in the first round. So it's very, very enticing to see them bounce back and see all the players getting their goals. They are happy and they are raring to go. We need to see more of this from the Senegalese game in the next match. And if they can get a win in the next match, they should be able to qualify to the semi-final, and that will be an exciting time. I would also love to see Senegal against Mauritania again as the game progresses.
I can imagine. Who knows? Perhaps they will meet. Perhaps they will meet in the final. The Group A winner meets the second team from Group B, and top of Group B meets the second team in Group A. So 15 seconds or so to go at the end of this middle period. Malawi trying to get on the score sheet for the first time, struggling. Today the team ranked 8th on the continent, 63rd overall against the top rated side in Africa, Senegal, as that blazes over from Usi. Senegal ranked 10th in the world, which gives you an idea of what Malawi are up against today. Well, the buzzer goes with a Senegalese player down on the floor, and they managed to score 4 unanswered goals in that period, Abu Aziz, and that was the Senegal machine just clicking into action.
Yeah, this is the quality of the champion. This is the quality of a world-class team. This is the qualities of a team that has played at various World Cup tournaments. They have been cruising well, and it's a good one for them to see them, for us to see them bounce back after that heavy defeat yesterday. Because I don't think myself or any other beach soccer fan in Africa would have expected them to lose against Mauritania. So it's so good for us to see them bounce back. But one thing they need to realize right now is it remains just 1 quarter in this particular encounter. They need to avoid injuries. One of their key players, Diane, is already out injured, and we can see the Malawians already going physical. So they need to be very, very careful.
The thoughts of Abu Aziz, the former Nigeria international. We see the Red Sea, which is just yards from the Hurghada Beach Soccer Arena. See as well the wind that I've been talking about as Malawi issue their instructions. Senegal, well, it's a chance for them to bring in some new players because 5 goals to the good. They're not going to relinquish this lead. So the highlights from this game between Senegal and Malawi. Manjon Jan opening the scoring in the first period with a very cool finish before Seydina Gajiaga crashed home his free kick for his first goal ever at the tournament. The man making his debut in the Beach Soccer Africa Cup of Nations here. The number 4 for Senegal, and then there's the pick of the goals. Manjon, his second of the game and his 3rd of the tournament, leaving Justine Bonongwe in the Malawian goal with absolutely no chance, clutching it there. And then the goals continued to come. Sanu Lai Chow for Senegal took his effort really well to make it 4. Also celebrated by sitting on the floor, the number 7 for Senegal. And then wrapping it up in the second period, Gajaga again thrashing home high into the net. Once again, Bonongwe nowhere near it. 5-0 to Senegal at the end of the second period. Well, this is a chance surely for the Senegalese coach Ngala Silla to bring in some fresher players or players who played less so that he can freshen up his team for tomorrow's game, which obviously they have to win when they meet Mozambique.
Exactly, because Mozambique happens to be a very, very good side as well. So right now, we're having just one more quarter in the game and they are leading 5 goals. This is the right time for him to rest his key players because tomorrow's match is a very, very important match for him. And he needs to win that match and win convincingly. That would only qualify them into the semi-final. So right now, he just needs to bring in fresh legs and rest his good players. In this quarter, I don't even expect a player like Mandione to even step on that pitch again in this quarter. We already have Diane that is having a minor injury already out. So those 2 players should be out fresh for the match tomorrow. So it's also a good decision for them to play other players that gets them into the mood for the remaining matches.
Senegal with the kickoff and Senegal with the goal. And there's only been 2 seconds played of this third period. And Sanu Lai Chow has got his second of the game as well. So there are now 3 Senegalese players all on 2 goals. Manjon Jai, Seydina Gajaga and Sanu Chow. And Malawi, it's a long, long afternoon for them so far. Group B has 3 games in as many days. Group A started on Saturday, the 2 games in Group A, and then Group B kicked off yesterday, Sunday, and then games today and tomorrow as well before a rest day on Wednesday ahead of the semi-finals on Thursday. And there are also games to determine who will finish 7th in the tournament. That's between the bottom teams in both groups, and who will finish 5th in the tournament as well, which is between the 3rd placed sides in groups A and B. Well, Malawi were really in the match yesterday against Mozambique. Very, very unlucky to lose the game in the last minute when it had been heading to extra time. But there's a real gulf in class here today.
Yeah, the class has shown so well, and something I understand about the Malawians is that they used all their strengths to play their last match, and it's already energy sapping because they haven't been able to match the Senegalese in any way. The Senegalese on their own side, they realized that they were very, very beatable, and for them to have lost that match yesterday, they needed to sit up, and that is what they have done. And winning this game and winning convincingly has already shown that, yes, they are ready to go into the tournament further.
They certainly are. A change in goal for Malawi. Until now, Justine Benongwe has played every single minute for them, but Eddie Jamu is on. Can he do any better? The 25-year-old plays for tourism in Malawi. And Usi, well, we saw some excellent striking from him yesterday. Not so today. Simba into the skipper. Kajamu, who lets one fly, and it's just whistles over the bar from Isaac Kajamu, 27 years of age. Well, Sam is back on the field for Senegal. Manjon Jian is back on the field, no doubt to the displeasure of former Nigeria international Abu Aziz alongside me, but he will want a hat-trick possibly, well, yeah, undoubtedly.
I think that's also good, and I also wear the jersey number 8, and so he happens to be my favorite because he wears the jersey number 8. So I'm just looking out for him because I noticed that the Malawians, they are becoming more physical. Yeah, although I haven't seen that physical side in the 3rd quarter, but I just expected him to be fit for the next game because that game happens to be the most important game for them, yeah, because they have already lost the first match. So him resting right now and coming in bigger and better in the last match would have been my expectation, but getting an hat-trick in this game is also a good one for him.
We've seen hat-tricks already in the tournament. Smith for Mozambique, Ajay for Ghana. And Malawi showed really good fitness against Mozambique despite being beaten by that last gasp goal, but had little to do with fitness. And it's fairly cruel on them, heartbreaking after a really decent display. Malawi have been dreaming of becoming the first Flame side to make it through to the Beach Soccer World Cup, but that seems a very distant possibility, and instead they seem to be heading for an early exit as a strike comes in from Sam, a 35-year-old. Scored 3 at the World Cup earlier in the year, 1 against Belarus, 2 against Japan. And Manjon Jian with some defensive play for the man who's scored 8 goals in the last 2 World Cups. Manjon Jian, despite his tender age. And there's a player down. Oblen Kumbula, the 24-year-old with Beach Eagles, just again not the first player to be displeased with the referee and some of their decisions today, arguing his case, expecting more. There he is. And a yellow card has been issued to Senegal's Papa Ndoye. So we wait for play to resume with the clock stopped on 8 minutes and 46 to go. And it looks like Malawi are going to be making another change in goal because their third choice keeper looks ready to come on as well. We'll see what happens there. And Kumbula can't keep that. Jamu into Kajamu. Under pressure from Manjon. And forward, and Manjon picks it up again, and and he got that all wrong. We've not seen too many stray passes like that in the tournament, and we don't expect to see it from a player of his quality. Simba, who strike against the bar seems a long time ago for Malawi. A composed player. Just happy to take his time, even though, well, I don't think Malawi have any expectations of getting back into this game. Is it about damage limitation for Malawi now, or is it about exposing players? There's the third choice goalkeeper, Haji Musa, who's going to be coming on. And if you were the Malawi coach, what would you be wanting your team to do now at 6 goals down and little realistic chance of getting back into the game?
Yeah, at the moment, I think they have just a little chance to come into the game because we're already in the 3rd quarter and playing against the Senegalese side. It would take lots of miracle for them to get back, and I just need the player to get more exposure ahead of next tournaments because there are various tournaments to come through. So all they just need to do is become, try as much as possible to learn few things. They have got some positives in their game, and some of the positives is they have a very, very good goalkeeper. They also have a player like Usi. They also have Simba doing well for their team. They should be able to get more knowledge of beach soccer ahead of their next tournament.
Well, that was a good save from Fai after some really nice link-up play between Nkumbula and Simba. Straight at the Senegalese goalkeeper, and Senegal looking for their 7th at the other end. Mansour on the overhead and wide of the target, very wide in the end from the Senegalese start. Kumbula for Malawi. Trying to play the 1-2 with Usi, but he muscled off it. And that's a wayward pass out of the Senegalese defence. Looking for Manjon Jian. Well, the Senegalese coach, speaking after the game yesterday, was fairly unconcerned about the defeat to Mauritania, saying we will bounce back. Well, the side have certainly done that today so far. Mendy in the corner. Hassan Ba, he's 20 years of age. Simba. Kijamu, we've not really seen his attacking threat from Malawi so far. Simba, neat footwork from him. Trying the overheading, getting it very wrong indeed. Yet to score at this tournament, Dallas Simba, which surprising because he's a player who looks as though he can deliver.
Yeah,
he's just not had the rub of the green.
Yeah, he looks very, very promising. He happened to be one of their key players, but sometimes in beach soccer, you just have to take some other responsibilities, and some of the responsibilities he has been taking is he has been a little bit more defensive, and it's a good one for the team. And it is possible that in consequent tournament he would be able to get his well-deserved goal.
Is it a chance here now for him to do so? He does. Well, there is timing. Dala Simba finally gets on the score sheet at this beach soccer AFCON, and he finally gets Malawi on the score sheet as well. And they are represented, Malawi, and Dala Simba, who scored 3 goals in this tournament 2 years ago when Mozambique hosted it, has got his first belatedly. So in Senegal will not be leaving with a clean sheet, which seldom happened in beach soccer, and he took that chance. Senegal coming forward again. Well, they've already scored from 1 kickoff. They couldn't do so there. Asamba just crashing it into the Malawian wall. Fai up to Mendy. Looks such a handful to play against. Jatta back on the pitch. Manjonjan off the pitch. Fai letting fly. And that's over the netting behind the Malawian goal as well. So Egyptian fans beginning to come in ahead of their game against Tanzania, which kicks off at 1200 GMT. And it's not so much of a contest, this one, but it is a vital victory coming the way of Senegal, we can safely say. This will be a chance for Raul Mendy to grab his first goals of the tournament, yet to get on the score sheet. A man who got 7 in the 2021 World Cup. Here he comes, and he doesn't strike a goal. Try to play it cleverly through to Hassan Ba, and he just didn't get that right. But you can see the idea. It was a nice idea from Mendy, wasn't it? It's just the execution all wrong.
Yeah, that's a very, very tactical play from and a very, very experienced player. Mendy happened to be someone that happened to be a great player for the Senegalese beach soccer team, and that technique happened to be a technique where your opponent believes you want to shoot from that distance, and you pretend you want to shoot, whereas you are passing the ball to your second player that is making that run. So it was a very, very good intention, but the execution to get that ball in was the wrong one. So a very, very good one, a good tactical play from the Senegalese side.
Well, Senegal's goalkeeper forcing a really good save out of Malawi's third choice goalkeeper, Haji Musa, who's on the pitch. So a chance here again to be called into action, but Mendy missing the target and then trudging off the field with a puff of the cheeks. Well, Mendy, Musa doing well to save from fire, now trying to see if he can beat his opposite number. Striker goal straight at 5 from Kajamu, and then Kajamu just robs Hassan Ba before blazing that one over the top left-hand corner. Struck well, he just couldn't keep it down. And Malawi look fairly undaunted by the scoreline against them. Chance here for Ba on the volley, teed up by Chow. Couldn't take it. Musa. And Fai on this occasion choosing not to shoot as Manjon comes back on the field for Senegal. Hassan Ba, the man he's replaced. And Fai just playing the 1-2 with Manjon. Clean tackles as the referee. Striker goal. Brilliantly hit by Kajamu, score forcing a really good save from Fai. He's got real height, Fai, and he was at full distance there to tip that excellent strike from Kajamu. Round for a corner which has come to naught. Simba. Good save, good action.
Yeah, good strike from their captain, and very good save from the goalkeeper. And this shows his level of composure, his level of concentration. Because if he hadn't been following the game, that would have been a goal from the Senegalese side, from the Malawian side.
Well, you say the Senegalese side, they almost did score. Chow looking to convert his brace into a hat-trick, which no Senegalese player has managed to do so far, and they've only got just over a minute and a half if they're going to do so. Corner now. Chow and Manjon, the players with 2 goals on the field. Kajaga currently wearing his yellow bib on the substitutes bench. I'm sure that Fai would love to get on the score sheet as well. And will he try and do so here? He's going to flick it up and just play it into Silla. Bit of space for Silla here. He got that wrong, Silla. Kijamu.
You're talking about Thiaw. I think he would be impressed with himself. Talking about Thiaw, the coaches and the management crew would be impressed to have picked him because he is putting on the jersey, the famous jersey number 7 of their record goal scorer Abubakar Fowl, that happened to be one of their best players in the history of beach soccer. Unfortunately, he has been dropped for Thiaw, and Thiaw so far has proved that he is worth the jersey number, getting 2 goals in this particular match. So he needs to do more to be able to get just 1 more goal, and getting an hat-trick in this game would give him more confidence to be able to do more.
Absolutely, the thoughts of Abu Aziz, the former Nigeria international. As Manjon, with 45 seconds on the clock, has another chance to try and seal his hat-trick, but once again it really is from distance, as we see that save again from Hussein Ufai from Kejamu's fine strike. Well, this is going against the wind by Manjon. Can he beat the young goalkeeper? He can't, because Musa got a good hand to it. But Malawi, well, they're saying the ball didn't go behind for a corner, but that is exactly what it will be for Senegal. Chow into Silla. And Silla is the throw for Senegal into Chow. On the turn, Chow, but muscled off it by 2 Malawians. And now Musa coming forward onto his left foot this time. Sails over Senegalese bar. And Senegal's campaign has rebounded as Fai again, forcing the corner. The buzzer goes. It was fairly routine stuff in the end from Senegal, who have got their Group B campaign back on track. They had to win today. That's precisely what they've done. They will head into their final game with Mozambique, knowing that victory can take them through. Malawi, they don't have such luxury. Instead, they're going home after just 2 games. They're impressed against Mozambique, but they found it tough going against the Senegalese today. It's Mauritania, lastly, for them tomorrow. Abu Aziz, your thoughts on that game, which was pretty one-sided, let's be honest.
Yeah, it is one-sided game, and it is important to see the Senegalese bounce back from the defeat yesterday. It would be disappointing to them if they had lost today again and gone out of the tournament, because for a team of Senegal's caliber, with their experience and the caliber of players in that team, I wouldn't expect them to exit the tournament that way. But it's good to see them being humbled by Mauritania, and that humbleness has shown that they are beatable, and this is a good one for beach soccer in Africa, because anything should be beatable. Right now, it is time for the Malawian side to go back to the drawing board. Good one. Congratulations to Senegal as well.
The thoughts of the former Nigeria international Abu Aziz, as we see the stunning aerial shots of the venue here in Hurghada, on the shores and the banks of the Red Sea here in Egypt. Senegal, as said, they did absolutely what they needed to do. It would have been an enormous upset if they had lost today for the second time in a row and gone home early. They've reached the final every single time in there they've ever got to this event. And Malawi, well, outplayed and outclassed. So they can use this as further experience. Only their second appearance at the tournament. They finished 5th on their debut in 2022. They did at least manage to get on the score sheet today. But they are in a tricky group, and their greatest hope of success was surely against Mozambique yesterday. The man of the match is Seydina Gajaga. So confirmation of the 2 results in on what is day 3 of the tournament. The second round of matches in both groups. Morocco 5, Ghana 2. That game in Group A. Senegal 6, Malawi 1 in Group B. We've got Egypt, Tanzania coming up, and Mozambique, Mauritania, the second game in Group B. The last of the 4 games today. Senegal right back in the thick of it. So the pitch being watered. The highlights from Senegal's clash with Group B against Malawi. John Jan opening the scoring in the first period for the defending champions, before man of the match Seydina Gajaga scored the first of his 2 goals, flashing that past Justine Bonongwe and really enjoying the moment as well, the number 4 for Senegal, earning the applause of the watching public, and they would have been very impressed by that strike as well. Manjon Jan with his 2nd of the game and his 3rd of the tournament, and the pick of the goals from Senegal's 6 that they managed to score in total. Really was a fine strike. And then Sanu Chao managed to take advantage of a poor ball out from the Malawi defence to score his first goal ever at a Beach Soccer Africa Cup of Nations, before Gajaga, who had achieved that feat earlier in the game, scored his 2nd as well. That was to make it 5-0. And then Shaw straight from the kickoff at the beginning of the 3rd period found the bottom corner just seconds on the clock. This literally was the kickoff of the 3rd period. 6-0 Senegal led at this point. They had to bounce back after that shock opening 5-2 defeat by Mauritania. And Malawi finally got on the score sheet. Dalla Simba, who scored 3 goals at the tournament 2 years ago, with his first of this tournament, and Malawi at least on the score sheet. It ended Senegal 6, Malawi 1. Okay, so listen, your headphones, don't worry if you can't hear, okay? So what you want to do is this, you want to make that small so that you're going like this, okay? So you just don't worry about that, because at some point you put them around here, but obviously we can't hear them. Okay, so just,
You know why I tend to
because
it's spinning in my ear, that's why.
so pop it around the back of your ear, and then it means that when I'm asking you questions, if the sound is not coming through your headphones, you can at least hear me. Although at the moment I can hear myself. Could you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Aside that,
Because at the beginning of the game, you didn't have. I know you couldn't hear.
I couldn't.
Because at some point I couldn't hear either. I think the line, something cut out, and it's possible that they. switch something, which meant that finally, yeah, we could hear. Okay?
What aside that, any other thing?
No, all good.
good.
I think, yeah, no, listen, I think the other thing is if we think there's going to be a goal.
Yeah, because I'm.
I'll tell you.
I'm not seeing.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing here. But if I notice when the ball is going here, I don't stop.
Yeah, exactly, perfect. Because we want it to be clean. So when they do the highlights, they want it to be clean. The other thing you should know is that between the periods, right? So between the periods, they are actually following this running order on this one. But at the end of each period, we have about, it says it's 30 seconds, but really we have about a minute, and then they bring in the highlights. So as soon as you see the highlights playing, I should have stopped you by then, but we want that to be clean as well, okay?